Viridiana. So I put that as an homage to Buñuel. It's one of my absolutely directors that has influenced me a lot. Viridiana, also a fantastic movie.
You should go see that too. There was someone over here. Yeah.
Can you talk about your use of the colors in this film, your color palette?
Can you talk a bit about how you use colors and the color palette for this particular film?
I don't like strong colors. And I prefer to have people pale, white makeup, as clown at circus. In the middle of the manege is white. And also influenced by the Japanese no theater. They play Shakespeare with white masks. And they say, to be or not to be behind the white mask. That's increases the power of what they are saying. So that's, there's influence from that kind of theater. And I think also that these white faces, they make the scene more timeless. Yeah. I want to work timelessly.
Cool. Right there.
I, of course, love your use of the long takes, as well as how you set up the objects and the people within the frame. Just curious how difficult it is to actually film that, and specifically the first scene with the king, that really long take with the horses and the soldiers in the background. How difficult was that?
The gentleman loves your use of long takes, and he wanted to know specifically how difficult it was to shoot the scene with the king and the pub and the horses and the...
Yeah, it was not easy. We spent 2 months to make that scene together with the king returns from Russia, defeated. Together 2 months. But on the other hand, it was worth it, I think. Concerning, I don't like to cut. My philosophy is nowadays, don't cut if not necessary. Don't move the camera if it's not necessary. Because cut or removing takes time. Takes your concentration also. So I'm very, very fond of painting history. So that is a big influence for me, painting history. And when you go to a museum and look at these masterpieces in painting history, you can stand there for many minutes or hours. And you can return and have the same feeling again. And in a movie, it's very rare, very seldom you can see a scene that you want to see 10 times. So I really try and would like that a movie could be at the same level artistically as painting history. So that's my ambition.
Right there.
I guess my one curiosity, but also question the way that these scenes play out is that there's such an intricate sense of the space on screen, kind of being so important to how the humor comes what is the process to build a scene? What do you start with? Do you start with a physical environment? Think about it that way. Do you start with a series of events? Like, what is your actual building block to get to that result?
Gentleman said he's quite impressed with your use of figures in the frame and how that often sort of fuels the comedy in the scene. What's the process for setting up those scenes?
I start with to find out the distances in the room, in the space. I've written an article. I think it's in our catalog here. It's in now. The article.
The Swedish catalog, the film catalog.
It's called Man and Space, Man and the Room. And I would say briefly that my philosophy is that a man can lie or a woman can lie, but the room always tells the truth. Because the room tells what your taste, your who you are.
It's a reflection of you, yeah.
And as you asked, we start to find out the space. How far from the wall in background should they be? How separate from each other, and so on. And such details affect, for example, humor, comics. And humor is also built on timing. And time is connected to space. So there's a lot of things that you need for build up a very interesting scene. So I passed the Swedish Film School 1969. So I've been in this business for many years. And when I made my second movie feature, it was catastrophe, economically and even concerning the critics. And yes, I was out in the cold for many years. But during that time, I understood that I have to build up a company of my own to avoid to be in other people's hands. It took 25 years to build it up. But during that time, I also made a lot of commercials in the same style as this one.
They're quite unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next, just throw your hand up. Yeah, go. I'm just trying to see somebody in the back. It's hard to see.
I was wondering if you take so long to make your films, if you have a completed script or a solid idea of where you want to go before you start shooting your pieces, or if you were just going piece by piece, progression,
Yeah.
Given, sorry, I need to repeat it. Given that it takes a while, a certain time to make your films, do you start with a very specific script that you stick to, or do you just build it piece by piece, or how does that process work for you?
The movie that put me out in the cold, my second movie, and it was a catastrophe. It was built on a very strict script. So now I prefer to start, as I have the possibility to rule my studio. I can do what I want, actually. Okay, bank is also, I mean, but I would say I have the half script finished already when I start. And during the process, I can complete it. And I do very often. And actually find some better ideas that I thought from the very beginning. So this movie was started by help of a half script. Excuse me.
Okay, we can do maybe one or two more. Yeah, back there.
First, thank you very much. I just had a question. I was wondering, to me, it seemed like the mundane, repetitive cruelty of humanity was shown very long, and it took, and repeating, and long scenes. And yet, the very few injections of color and lightness, like the kids with the bubbles, or the couple by the sea, it was very brief and very just snapshot. Could you comment on that?
The lady one asked if you could comment on the sort of moments of lightness. There are often long takes about somewhat mundane details, but also they tend to focus on the darker events. They tend to be long takes, but the lighter, happier moments tend to be rather brief. Can you comment on that schism?
Yeah.
Difference?
Yeah, but I don't mean that happiness is shorter than sadness, but it's hard to explain why. I have not thought about it myself. But concerning the light, I really want to, I don't like any longer lighting with romantic light. And no, I call it light without mercy. So there are no places in the picture where people could hide. They are illuminated all the time. and very, because of that, very naked. And that's a quality, that's a value. It's like a painting history. Light Without Mercy is, for me, they are the most interesting pictures, paintings. I have some idols in history. For example, the American David Hopper. I think there is mercy in his light, but not much. But there are two Germans also, Otto Dix and George Grosz. They were active between the wars in the 30s, and they have inspired me a lot. And they have no mercy when they tell about the human's condition. So I think we should be very honest, and if I don't want to make it sweeten up scenes. I want to I want them very, very true and honest. And life is actually, none of us will have a happy end.
Okay. I'm afraid we have to wrap it up on that note. But thank you very much for the